What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a great night. I wanted to make a quick video because I'm getting a lot of questions from people of what to do with your 401k during the coronavirus, COVID-19. You're locked in your house. What are you going to do? Your 401k really should be your last resort to get money. It really is. It really should not be something that you're trying to tap into just because some of the rules changed and you now have access and avoid the 10% penalty. That's the question I'm getting. The other question I'm getting is, should I liquidate? Should I go to cash? Is the market going to totally go to zero? Am I totally going to lose everything in my 401k? That's a tough one to answer. And I think it really comes back to a personal choice of what you can stomach. Honestly, if you have a longer time horizon, you've got 5+ years, 20 years, whatever, till retirement, you should not be liquidating. And here's the reason. Let's have some perspective. Let's switch over here. I'm going to show you my screen. I've got this cool chart from DFA, or Dimensional Fund Advisors. They do a great job. They only sell through advisors, which we'll talk about in a second. But you can see on this chart the bear market drops, and they're very short, meaning when we have a stock market crash or drop or whatever you want to call it, it's not as long as the growth or the up years. You can see the last one we've had was 115 months. We were up 385%. This is to the end of 2018. This isn't even including what has happened currently. This is a little bit outdated, but it's very useful to see the drops and how short they are and how steep they are. Another one I want to show you is over here. I just went to Yahoo. I just pulled up the S&P 500. So this is just all the top 500 companies in the U.S. You can see the perspective here from where we were, even at the peak of 2008, before we had the mortgage meltdown, where we are now. We're not even close to where that was. So have some understanding is that you're trying to time what could happen. You don't know what's going to happen. I think there's going to be some hopefully some good news and we get back to work. I mean, that's my hope. Obviously, I can't give that advice. This isn't to give you advice. You need to do what's best for you. But what I tell people when I'm sitting down with them on their 401k, the most important thing to do is what allows you to sleep at night. If you keep logging into your 401k and you're panicked and you see it's down 20% this year and you don't know what to do and you've got years ahead of you, I mean, that's something you need to work through, and maybe investing in a 401k is not the best choice. And that's okay. There's a great video out there with Warren Buffett, and he's talking about, how people are investing, and if you panic and, oh, this stock dropped and now I got to hurry and sell it, that's not for you. You shouldn't do it. I know I saw another post from a great advisor on LinkedIn that I love to follow. His name's Anthony. He does great videos. He put a funny post out there saying, "Oh, I just looked on online and I saw that my house dropped." What is that website? Truly, I can't remember what it is. The one where it gives you the value of your home, right? An estimate. Man, that's gonna bug me. Whatever it is, you know what I'm talking about. It gives you the value of your home. And he put on the post, said, "Well, I just saw that my house dropped 14% in value. I better hurry up and sell it." That's the mentality that you're thinking of when you see that your stocks drop. You've got to start thinking a little bit longer term and understand the fundamentals, the underlying assets or companies that are inside of your investments, whether you're holding stocks directly and bonds directly, or you have mutual funds. However you're investing, no matter what product it's in, mutual fund, annuity, life insurance, I don't care what it's called by Wall Street, the only way you're investing your money is in a stock or a bond. So you either have ownership in a company or debt to a company. And the underlying value of that will eventually win because of the fundamentals of what the company's doing. And that involves brand, marketing, sales. I mean, there's so much that goes into that as a business. And these reactions to that price based on outside things like the coronavirus can give you a wonderful opportunity to take advantage of those things because they don't really correctly reflect how the businesses are doing. You can, of course, look at some of the good businesses that are doing well through coronavirus. You can look at grocery chains. You can look at, obviously restaurants are not doing well, so that's the opposite. Airlines, cruises, they're getting hit hard. They are going to have a rough ride, and it's been fascinating to get all these extra phone calls recently from travel agencies trying to pre-book trips that are open for 5 years sometimes to capture revenue now, to help them through this time, right? It's a game of, can we keep our doors open to weather this storm till we understand how are we going to stop the coronavirus spread and get people back to work? Because as soon as that happens, I have a strong feeling that we're going to see some positive news, and we're going to shorten that gap between the underlying fundamentals behind those stock prices and the actual price. Right now, there's a big gap because of the outlying effects, and it very well might get worse. And that's a true that could happen. We may not get a solution for coronavirus very soon. We may be stuck in our homes, and I think people are trying to adapt because they're still needing to work and figure out how they're going to support their own families. And so this is a real test for us, and I err on the side that we're going to pull through and we're going to be strong and we're going to find it out. Take that however you want, but be thoughtful that when you do liquidate or change or take money out of your 401k, that's the moment when you're actually going to lock in a loss. If you hold on to it and it's down 20%, guess what? Everything could turn around in the next week, year, 2 years, whatever. But you haven't locked in the loss if you haven't sold it. So figure out what works best for you, and whatever you do what you feel gives you the most peace to sleep at night and feel like you're doing what's best. And I do want to say one final point about this. I've noticed on a lot of different social media posts, a lot of people trolling right now as far as when you're talking about helping people or selling anything right now. There's people that are just like, you can't do this, you gotta stop. And it's pretty pathetic that people are just sitting on their phones and just making rude comments to people that are trying to bring value and actually help people through this tough time. And there's a good way and a bad way to do that during a pandemic like this. But in the 401k space, I think what's interesting is that the most people that I get, the most times I see people attacking people that are selling 401ks or managed 401ks or involved in the 401k space, they're trying to sell other products outside of that. And there's a lot of interesting comments about the 401k not being a successful tool for retirement. And the 401k is less valuable than whatever other product they're selling. I want to say this as a 401k complete nerd, and just I love 401ks. I love the aspect of it's one of your first investment accounts that you ever have in your life. I love that it introduces you to mutual funds and stocks and bonds and helps you understand the principle of saving. But I would never come and say that the 401k is the only or the exclusive way that you're going to get to retirement. It's not. It's a piece of the puzzle. And as an advisor, it's your job to communicate and help people understand that that is just one piece and that you need to take full advantage of it from a tax perspective, but also start to understand investing as you go through that process. And we do a poor job, I think, at starting that out when you're early in your career. And, I remember my first 401k meeting was like the most boring, awful, like, here's the graph, look at this, if you need to put your money in. I mean, I think this was like 2000, maybe before that, maybe 98, 99 when I had my first 401k meeting. And I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I wanted to keep my money. I was young, stupid. I didn't do it. If I'd taken their advice and I'd put in the 19, or whatever it was back then, probably 15,000 or something, and done that before I got married and had kids and had all these expenses, I'd be in a different spot. And that's the power behind actual saving. That is an element even outside of a 401k plan. It's an element of just in a savings account at a bank, in an IRA, in whatever, in a home. I mean, however you want to save your money, the earlier you do it in life, the longer it has to grow, and the more you'll have to hopefully retire or live the lifestyle you want to, whatever retirement means to you, however you define it. But the likelihood of you living off of just your 401k balance, pretty low, unfortunately. And that's okay. I think there's been a lot of good ways that people have used that to supplement other things that they have. And it'll be interesting as we get to a place where Social Security is, something's got to crack, right? We can't keep raising the age, but it's not funding enough. So that's a whole nother long topic, and I'm not going to get into that, but I think a lot of people attack the 401k incorrectly. It's a tool. It's a way that the government's allowed you to pay less taxes and keep more for yourself, to invest it and help it grow. All right, that's enough rambling for the day. If you learned anything from today, I hope that it's to stay calm, fight your fears that the market won't recover, because I'm telling you, we've been through some scary stuff in history, and we're going to get through this. And if we don't, then your 401k is not going to matter. So there's really two options, two outcomes that I see. So I hope that everyone is safe and healthy, because that's one thing your 401k or any other money or any other investment or any other business you have cannot buy is your health. So stay healthy, keep isolated. We got to stop the spread, and we're going to get through this. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Thanks for watching.